Gamer Review, and today for the Light Out of Blue Challenge, Day 9, we're playing Rayman Legends. Now, I know for the last several days when we played games that are specific to autism and the general spectrum, and we were talking about this in the office, and, when we were choosing Day 9, we actually said, okay, let's choose something, something that's here in the office that's very popular, something that everybody loves, and something that's just overall fun for all levels of autism. And not just autism alone, just overall fun for everyone. And Rayman Legends is one of those games. And the reason why so is it's very easy to pick up and play. The controls are very simple. And as you see here, I am horrible at this game. But the people here at the office love it. I am horrible at it. But it's an overall fun game. Now, this game does have a 4-player, component to it. We were supposed to have 3 volunteers, but all of them are playing soccer in the field right now. So therefore, I am stuck here at the office broadcasting while everybody's out and enjoying whatever sun that's out right now here in New Jersey. So that being said, Rayman Legends is the game from Ubisoft, and I could say this much: Rayman Legends has been around for a very long time. This started off as how, like, when Sega had, when Nintendo had Mario, Sega had Sonic, every major third-party developer wanted to have their own mascot style of game. And from Ubisoft, Rayman became that. There's many incarnations of the Rayman series, even to Rayman Origins. It spans a lot of the platforms, from PlayStation to Microsoft to even Nintendo. Nintendo's always been famous for having a Rayman game in their lineups for quite a while, from the Wii U. The Switch has not seen one as of yet, but because the Switch is fairly new, I won't be surprised after E3 this June that a new, Rayman Legends would be announced. I mean, not Rayman Legends, but a Rayman game would be announced by Nintendo. Or by Ubisoft, excuse me. So, as you see here, it's all about Rayman collecting and so forth. There we go. As I'm getting older, my hand-eye coordination and talking and playing at the same time is going away. But you collect these little things, these little fairy things, and then you have to help these little buddies out by rescuing them in each level. Now, each level differs, and up to 4 people can play this. Now, this is a great family game, so when we work with families on helping them choose the best games, this is one of the things that first came up, was the fact that, this game is very easy to play. Both parents and children can play this together. There's no type of high difficulty level, to say at least. The only thing that we saw in Rayman Legends in particular was the fact that you could replay levels. And by replaying it, it's just a matter of just trying to get a better score, try to get all the little, fairies that float around. So it's a matter of just, you could theoretically beat the game by just doing well on each level. And by doing well, you should be fine. There are some that are perfectionists, like myself and Camille, but she's sitting right next to me, and she's going to probably hit me for saying that want to get all the bonuses and so forth. Like, as you see here, there's hidden areas in the game where you could swim. And as you see on the upper left-hand corner, because everybody decided to go to the park without me, up to 4 people could play on the same screen at once. So, for families that, for a family of 4, this is actually a great game. Let me see here. Let me crush him. There we go. And this is something that's very easy. There's a lot I could say about the Rayman series. Some good, some bad. It just depends on the taste of gamer. But for kids up to 10 years old, sometimes older, this is a very relaxing game because it's a platformer. A lot of times, as of late, developers have found it a need to, to make platformers, difficult. You see right there, I died because I got careless, but they found it a need to make it difficult because they feel that their market is too grown to play a platformer, and I disagree with that, because there could be a child that may have hand-eye coordination, a parent that wants to enjoy the game with their child, but the game is too difficult. Nintendo has been one of the few companies that has actually been pioneering away from difficulty of controls and making it more simplistic, so everyone in the gaming family could play. And when everyone, like how Camille says every time, a family that, plays together, stays together, that is very true. Many a times when I'm playing this with my son, You know, he and I have a great time. We laugh a lot. You know, in the game, you could actually hit your, you know, one of your ally people and, you know, use them to jump higher and so forth. So, you know, he'll bump me, I'll bump him. He'll get mad, I'll get mad, and then we laugh about it, you know, minutes later. And it's one of those fun games. From the artistic spectrum level, this game, you know, at first, you know, I was talking to a parent, and they felt the game may be too difficult at first, saying, okay, there's too much going on in the screen, the screen's too vibrant and so forth. They actually said that, you know, is this going to be too hard for my son to play? And the answer is no. This is something that's very easy. It's just a matter of how you play it, when you play it, how you play it, and who you play it with. And that may sound like a lot, but believe it or not, it's not as bad as it is. Rayman Origins, another game in the series that we decided not to cover, is just as good. But we did notice that there are some levels that in which, you know, are a little difficult for younger children, even for some adults, believe it or not. And that's the reason why we did not cover Rayman Origins, because we wanted to cover things that were easy for people to play. But as you see here, oh, excuse me. I think that's the reason why I'm not at the park, because I have my allergies. But as you see here, the game it's not too difficult. It's very easy. You know, this is a level that's, you know, yeah, it's only 2 buttons actually. You know, Camille's sitting next to me right now, but it's only 2 buttons, and it's very easy to play. There's only for the Xbox One controllers, the A button to jump, or to glide in this matter, and X to punch or kick. It's not violent at all. It's more of a cartoon violence, like something you see in Warner Brothers cartoons, you know, like Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck and so forth. It's not something of high violence. You know, sometimes as of late, we've seen some platformers that kind of go more of the questionable of the violent side, and this is not one of them. If anything, Ubisoft has done a great job of making this very family-friendly. And one of the best things is that because the Rayman series is available on all platforms, even if you have like a PlayStation 4 or a Nintendo Wii or Wii U or even like the PC, you can still play Rayman Legends without any problems. As you see there, I got myself hurt, but that's fine. And the thing is not, the other thing is, excuse me, the game doesn't punish you for, like, if you lose a life. There's, like, unlimited lives. It's all about passing the level. Sometimes you gotta think out of the box. So it's not like something where, like, oh god, I'm at a position in the game where I cannot pass. It is something where you could pass. It's just a matter of how you pursue it and so forth. So, the little flying things, I think they're called Twindlies. I'm horrible with names today, but collect those in the level, and you'll see in a few moments once we get to the ending of the level, just right here. You go in here and they'll show the after action report. That's how many you collect. The more you collect, you get like a bronze, silver, gold, and so forth. Right here, I'm at silver. I got a lucky card. That's like a card that you use in between levels. And I almost got the gold, but as I said before, I can't play and talk at the same time. So after that, you go back to the level select screen, which I'm going to show you in a moment. And the best part is, as you see how you collect those little buddies, new levels open up. So you could always go back. You see? Teensies. That's what it is. So I'm going to go back to the main gallery for one moment. And as you see here, as the game progresses and as you get more of the teensies, you know, it'll tell you like right above each poster, like there's 72 in total in this level, 62, 55, and so forth. So you can go to different levels once you collect enough of them. You can always replay each level. So, let me see here. And there's several levels to each one of these. They all vary. I've seen levels where we could beat within 5 to 6 minutes. Some of them took longer because they were a little bit more of a challenge. But here is like, you have like different things here. Like, you know, you could get collectibles here. this is like the creatures that you earn in the game. So like when you collect them and on a daily basis, because as the game is not meant to be beaten in one day, you collect them. And this one, the first one we collected, is all the way to the right. So it's a little piggy. I think it is. It's the Twitch broadcast box is blocking my bottom box here. So I'm gonna head back to the main menu. And as you do that, you could play different mini games. So like, let's say if you don't want to play, you know, like the main story, you could play like a soccer variation here, where you know, the four of you will play like a soccer type of game where you have to hit into the opponent's goal. You see that? That's, you know, this is actually a very fun mode. Like a lot of times here at the office, a lot of the gamers would play this as a, you know, makeshift version of soccer. You know, any of the family members that are watching this have seen like Super Smash Brothers, for an example. This is similar in the style of Super Smash Brothers, of the layout of a 2D screen and everyone on the screen at the same time. So we hit one more goal. There we go. And then we go to the main gallery. Oh, excuse me. And then also for parents and children that want more of a challenge, there are challenges in the game. You see right here that you could earn, like, there's challenges every day. As the game is older, I'm not sure if Ubisoft is supporting like any new challenges as of right now. That's something that I will put into the blog later on as an update. I have to contact my contact there, but as you see here, these are people with the highest scores. So like you have to run. Here. Oh, I can tell you right now, I'm not going to get the highest score. So it shows you the ghost also of the top, you know, players. See, I didn't do it. So I could retry it, you know, and this is not meant to frustrate. This is meant to encourage players to do better, you know. One thing I've always noticed about challenges is that people feel that they have to be over-aggressive, and that's not the case. Challenges are meant to help you as a gamer grow within the game and not, you know, to aggravate. That's something that's a big misconception in gaming, is that people feel that they have to beat the challenge and be number one, and that's not the case. You know, is it nice to be number one? Oh yeah, I'll be the first to admit that. But, you know, sometimes it's better just to be able to enjoy the race versus just, you know, come in first place. A lot of stress has happened where a lot of people have, you know, stressed out because they can't beat a level. This causes a lot of frustration in children. This also causes a lot of issues in where children feel that if they can't beat a level, they get aggravated with the game. They stop playing. A lot of anger comes out of it, where they can't manifest anger and frustration, so they usually lash out, and that's not good. But, you know, that's a blog that we're gonna write later on. I'm kind of getting off topic, but you see here is like how the aspects of the game are. So what I'm gonna do is, I feel that I've done too much talking. I'm going to have Camille that's chomping at the bit, but before I get her on here, I'm going to show one last portion, which is the different characters. And as you get more of the teenies, you could purchase new ones. I did not show you our complete playthrough, as I want, you know, I don't want to spoil it, to, you know, show you some of the new characters you could get and so forth. So I just showed the basic ones that you start off with. But I am going to turn it over as I play a level and let Camille talk for a couple of minutes. So give me one moment.
Hey everybody, it's Camille. Mike is absolutely right. There's a lot of games out there that can cause game rage, and if you've never heard of it before, just look it up on YouTube and you'll see a lot of videos that will make your jaw drop. And that's what some games can do, and that's one of the things that we aim to, what would you say? Not combat, but educate. Yeah, educate, here at Family Gamer Review of, you don't want a game, people have the misconception very often that gaming is just sort of a mindless waste of time, and it couldn't be further from the truth. Just as there are games that can help your child with very specific developmental skills in so many different aspects, or self-esteem, or even coping with anxiety issues, there are also games that can do the opposite and can cause rage. And here we try to help people make the best decisions, not only for the entire family's well-being, but also, who wants to waste their money on that? So, yeah, bad code is bad code. And I also wanted to give a little shout out to the kids at the soccer field and remind you that pretty much according to every governing body, from the government to the CDC to the NIH, even if you're watching this Twitch, you, no matter what age you are supposed to be getting 60 minutes of physical activity every day. We may be gamers through and through, but in order to be healthy all around, yes, you're supposed to get your physical activity. So it's good that they're out there playing some soccer. But getting to Rayman Legends, I love this game, like Mike said. I think that, I mentioned wasting money. And with Rayman Legends, you certainly get your money's worth on so many levels. Pun intended. Sure, take it. It's a good pun. There are so many levels, and there are levels within the levels, and there are different characters to play through the levels with. So, it's such a good buy. It's, up to 4 members of the family or friends, whoever, can play at once. So no one's left out. There's inclusion, and especially with special needs, inclusion is very important with siblings, to be able to play the same game and to have fun doing it. Another thing is that this is also very fun for adults, grown-ups, teens. Like Mike said, there are only 2 buttons. There's either run or float, depending on the level you're playing, and jump or attack. 2 buttons, that's it. So even I was able to literally pick it up and start proceeding through one of the stories with no problem. It's one of those games. Mike mentioned that a particular mom who was a little concerned at first that this might be too difficult. A great woman, very tech savvy, but was not, aware that gaming could be good for her son, who happens to have special needs and is one of our testers. But I pointed out a few things. Number one, I severely applaud her for getting involved in her son's gaming. We don't like it when people use gaming consoles as digital babysitters. It's good for everyone to be involved and know what your kids are doing. But Rayman Legends is one of the games where the whole family can play and really have a good time, genuinely. It's actually a very fun game. Mike mentioned that in the other Rayman, there are some difficult levels, but in Rayman Legends, it's really something that everyone can play together. No one's going to get bored. There's so much versatility in, between the characters and the levels. And one of the other things that I I pointed out to that mom was because she's very tech savvy. So I told her about the analogy that autism is not a coding error, it's a different operating system. And that was something that I think really clicked with her. And then I talked briefly about Able Play. If you haven't heard of them and you are the parent of a special needs kid, it's definitely an organization you should check out. They are great with rating toys on different levels of developmental skills for special needs kids. They're a great organization. I don't think they do video games, but we often like to look at things from a perspective of how would this rate on their scale of developmental skills. And I think this one is definitely sensory and cognitive. Sensory because there's no way this game even needs a colorblind mode. It doesn't have one because it doesn't need one. There's so much vibrance, and they've managed to use the shading so well in the vibrance and the saturation of the colors that even though it's quote-unquote cartoon animated, it gives it a very lifelike sort of depth feeling to it. There's also the sound, the ambient background noise, and also the sound of effects that happen throughout the game. There's never anything offensive, so that's not even a concern in any way, shape, or form, not visually, not audibly. It's just an all-around great game. I questioned whether it might touch a little bit on communication because of the some of the cutscenes. We noticed that one of our playtesters really liked the cutscenes. One of our playtesters who is on the spectrum really liked the cutscenes where the one, what do I say, alien or species? One species was talking to another, and the audio that you hear is just sort of jarbled, but it showed up in a text, like a text bubble. An English subtitle of whatever that species language is. And for some reason, he was just, really taken by those scenes. But it's not really enough for us to generalize in any way. But this is definitely great for cognitive skills and for sensory, hand-eye coordination, strategy. You don't want to under-challenge your kids with video games. You don't want to make the mistake of buying a game that's packaged as kid-friendly and ends up giving them game rage. But at the same time, you don't want to give them something that is so simple that you're either boring them or they're not actually getting something out of it. We like to promote games that help kids and families have a great time, not have to, we always rate things on how family friendly they are. Even if we're rating a mature title, we'll tell you it's a mature title. But we just like to help people to have games that the whole family will have fun playing together. And there's also something in it where your child or your kids can get something out of it cognitively or somehow in some good way. and Rayman Legends is one of them. So that's why it's on our list for the 30-day Light It Up Blue Challenge. Thank you for listening to me ramble, but I think it's a great game. You know, I've had a lot of fun playing it, and I've been old enough to drink for quite some time now. But I've had a fabulous time playing this with the younger kids, the other testers, special needs and otherwise. This is a game that no one really had any complaints about. Everybody was happy when we, you know, what are we testing today? Everybody was always happy when we put in Rayman Legends, including kids on the spectrum, not on the spectrum, and different ages. And like I said before, when it comes to special needs, I remember someone from Able Play telling me this. One of the things that they really love is inclusion. When kids with special needs can play with siblings who don't have special needs or might be different in age. And Rayman's Legends is one of the games where everyone in the family can play together and have a pretty cool night or day, you know, whenever you game. Yeah. That's all I have to say. It's a fabulous game. I mean, we don't like to do, you know, let's play sessions or very long playthroughs because we don't want to give away too much of the game that you won't go out there and buy it, because chances are if you see us, you know, twitching it or doing a video review of it, it's usually because we think pretty highly of the game, or else we wouldn't, you know, take the time to do that. But this is especially a good title. I think it's a great title for anyone's library. Definitely, what did you say, Mike? Up to 10 years old?
It would be something for older and younger siblings.
Yeah.
So like adolescent, toddler.
Yeah, that's what we saw and were so happy with in the testing, was that we were able to see the younger kids and the older kids play it together, both having a great time. It was very inclusive. Those were some very smooth and happy testing days. So thank you, Rayman Legends, and we think it's, again, it's a great game for on the spectrum, off the spectrum, young kids, old kids, and if you're a parent, the one thing that we really love is when parents get involved in their kids' gaming and even spend time gaming with your kids. I will make a little plug for the research. They did find that it does very much help strengthen the bond between parent and child when they game together. But in particular, there was a higher level of trust. And especially in this day and age, you know, trust is worth its weight in gold. Actually, more than its weight, because technically trust doesn't weigh anything. But, you know, being able to have trust with your child is the most important thing, in my opinion. Love and trust. Yeah, here's a cutscene. They're comical. It's that player friendly. It actually gives you that nod right there. You know, press A to jump from wall to wall, and it shows you which button to press. It really couldn't be friendlier. Even if you're a mom or a dad who thinks that there's no way I could pick up and play this, there's no way that I could do this with my child, or I don't want to, please think again. Because you can have a fabulous time. You can most definitely use the whopping total of 2 buttons it takes to play this game. Exactly. If you played Super Mario or Duck Hunt took one finger. One finger. If you played Super Mario or Duck Hunt as a kid, you can play this. That's how and that's one of the things that actually impresses me is you look at this game, you see so much vibrance, you see action, you hear the sound. You would think that there would be more complex controls, and it's not. It's just 2 buttons. You know? And we strongly encourage parents to play, get involved with your kids. I hope you heard Mike. He just said it was 1 button to get through that level, as difficult as it looked. It's not. But if you game with your kids, and you'll definitely have a lot of rewards to reap. And at the very least, we aim to equip you with what you need to make better purchasing decisions for your family, especially those with special needs, and especially this month with our 30-day Light It Up Blue Challenge, where we're featuring some of the best that are especially great for those on the spectrum, and preferably great for everyone to play together. But we've had a really diverse list. Yeah. Yeah, it's only we haven't even covered the first third of the month. There's still Sonic, Zuma's Revenge. I'm really excited about, because that's one of my favorites. Yeah, Stardust Galaxy Warriors, Arrow. Mike gave us a fascinating, untold tale of the true history of the Pac-Man franchise, I guess I would say, or the Pac-Man brand, and how it had a role in the special needs community since day 1, which was pretty awesome. Yay. Yeah. I'm sure you heard Mike. You can reach us on social media. We're on every channel, or platform rather. You can always find us on the website at familygamerreview.com. And thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow night, what's tomorrow night? Yes, tomorrow night is Zuma's Revenge. Love Zuma's Revenge. I can't wait for that one. So, alright, tomorrow's going to be great. So definitely tune in. Come back and be with us tomorrow night for Zuma's Revenge. Thank you for joining us tonight, and have a fabulous evening, wherever you are. Bye-bye.